Hi, my name's Roy Evans. I'm the tinnitus consultant at PPP. I'm here to tell you a little bit about tinnitus and how we can help you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain what tinnitus is, how it affects people, and the service that we offer to help you. After you've watched these series of videos, I hope that you will realize that no cure doesn't mean there's no help. Tinnitus is a sound which is generated from within the body. Any sound which is generated within the body. So it could be like a high-pitched frequency, even a low frequency, a ringing sound, a white noise sound, rather than hearing a sound which we normally hear externally. It's a very common problem, a very common phenomena, but only about 10 to 15% of tinnitus sufferers actually report the problem and actually seek help because they believe that there's no cure and they can't get any help. But I'm here to tell you that even though there's no cure, it can be helped, and we can help reduce the symptoms of tinnitus, either by reducing the noise of it, the volume, or by stopping it completely. No cure doesn't mean that there's no help, and it doesn't mean that nothing can be done about it. And I'm here to say at PPP that we can help reduce the symptoms of tinnitus. We can change the way that you feel about tinnitus, and in some instances we can actually stop the tinnitus. No, it's not age related at all. Damage to the ears can happen at any age. For me, I'm a tinnitus sufferer myself, and I was about 14 years old, a long time ago, when I suffered hearing loss or hearing damage through the shooting of a rifle. I was in the Army Cadets when I was a kid, and didn't wear ear defenders, and I believe that's what's caused my tinnitus. So it can happen at any age. I know I've got some friends a drummer for instance, who only noticed it when he was 35. So it can happen at any age at all. People react differently to the knowledge that they have tinnitus. The first thing they know, of course, is that they have tinnitus. They can hear the sound in their head. This leads to them searching for help on the internet or going to see experts to see if anything can be done. And they usually find that nothing can be done. They're told basically to live with it because currently there is no cure. That leads to, in a lot of people, negative feelings. They feel worried, they feel anxious, they feel helpless, and a general feeling of, I'm just going to have to put up with this awful thing, whatever it is that's going on. Well, when some people feel negative or they are very concerned with their tinnitus, they pay attention to it. They hear it more, or they feel they can hear it more. Some people react differently to that it doesn't bother them, so that their brain doesn't pay any attention to the tinnitus, so they don't hear it very much, or when they do, it's not very loud. And part of the treatment that we offer is to retrain their brain to not pay attention to it. This vicious cycle, that I like to call it, starts with first of all, the person noticing that they have tinnitus. They can hear the sound in their head. They're aware that they have tinnitus. So now they're aware that they have tinnitus. That's the next point in the circle. They're aware they've got tinnitus. The next thing they do after that is to usually search for some kind of help, some kind of cure for what they're experiencing. And usually they feel, the information that they get back is that there is no cure. They're going to have to basically put up with it. And that generates negative feelings, which is the next part of the vicious cycle. They feel helpless, anxious, stressed, depressed sometimes, which then leads to paying more attention to the tinnitus. And it makes it, they perceive that it's worse than it actually is. It's the equivalent of, if I asked you, can you feel the floor underneath your feet now? Because I've asked you to pay attention to it. you can feel it. Whereas before I asked you that question, you weren't paying attention to it because your brain deemed it unimportant to pay attention to it. But because I've asked you to pay attention to it, you can feel it. And it's the same with tinnitus. Where these negative feelings make you pay attention to the sound, and you have this perception that it's louder and more frustrating, more annoying than it actually is. The test will involve an hour's appointment with one of our audiologists or with myself, and based on the results of that test, we can tailor a solution which will help you. We've helped thousands of people either reduce the sound of the tinnitus or stop it completely. So book your appointment now with your consultant, and we look forward to seeing you.